So, if you find yourself finding it very hard to quit a bad habit, this video is for you. So, the major reason you have a problem quitting the habit is because you don't even know why the habit is there in the first place, right? Yes, it's like most videos you see out there, they attack the habit itself, but not the root cause of the habit. That's why whenever you're trying to diagnose what the problem is, it's always best to go down to the root. And I know this because I have spoken to way too many men, and when you realize what the real problem is, it's easier. I said, it's saying that knowing what the problem is half the solution. But let's be honest, you have tried different things, you have tried challenges, you have tried so many approaches, but guess what? The addiction is still there. Either you're still smoking, you're still drinking, you're still having like meaningless sex. And like I said, in this video, my goal in this video is to give you the reasons why that bad habit still stays, even though you have tried your possible best, right? So first of all, the first thing I've really noticed in guys, when you're trying to quit a bad habit is, one, you're really not ready to quit that bad habit. You're really not ready. A typical example is I've had a guy who was trying to quit smoking for a while. So after like 10 weeks, he will keep on going back to smoking, right? I want to use this particular guy as an example because I'll say it stretches across your story to almost every guy's story I see out there. The first thing them not being ready is you make excuses for why you're not ready to stop yet. And for young men, I hear things like, oh, I'm still young, I don't want to miss out of things. You see that topic of, oh, I'm too young, I don't want to miss out, bro, it's crazy. So you see, this, you not being ready, you see, this is why whenever I'm coaching men, I don't take that approach of, these are the habits you should stop. No, if you don't know why you should stop that habit, then there's really no point telling you to stop it. I may tell you to stop it, but I have to sell you on the reason of why you should stop it, right? Either what is the damage is already done. That is why, like I've said, you have to be ready first. You have to look at the habit and say, no, this lifestyle choice is causing me serious problems. A typical example is, I think I had a guy close to me who was, he saw his grades. A lot of people don't self-reflect. He saw his grades from, not his grades, his performance from 5 years ago to the present moment when he began smoking. He came to realize that, oh boy, that no, he saw the reduction himself. So he knew that at this rate, he has a mental decline. He may be able to function normally, right? But his mental decline became very obvious with just 5 years of smoking weed. 5 years of smoking weed exposed his performance. So, like I said, if you don't have a reason to stop, and for someone like that, that gave him a real boost, a real reason to completely stop smoking weed. Now, is he still drinking? Yes, he's drinking, but that's his business. But the bottom line is that that's something that, and it comes from our ego. When our ego says, don't worry, it's perfect. Or your ego tells you something like, at least you smoke only 1 stick a day. Or your ego tells you, but at least it's not so bad now. People that smoke 10 times more than you, bro, that's not your fucking business. It's your life, right? So again, you're not ready because your ego keeps bringing up excuses on why you should not be ready. So guess what happens? You keep having this cognitive dissonance that you're a good person, but the bad habit is what is really not bad like that. You begin to argue with yourself. You begin to make excuses for yourself, right? But guess what? It's not going to help because when you keep having those excuses in your head, you will never be willing to seek help. Number 2, your friends. Your friends. You see, let's be honest, most of the bad habits you have form through your friends. They form through your friends. So guess what? If you are trying to break that bad habit, your friends will do almost everything in the world to keep you there. This is why I tell people that, this is why I've spoken about friends a lot, because the people you surround yourself with, they play a vital role in your entire life. Where you're going to end up in life, the things you achieve, the things you would not achieve, they come directly from the people you hang around with. And guess what? You hang around your friends a lot. This is why I tell people that, for most people that I see, this is where I know if you are developed or not. If the friends you had in your childhood are the same friends you have in your 20s, you have a problem. You don't have friends. What you have is a problem. What that means is either all of you are growing together or none of you is actually growing. So guess what? You're sacrificing yourself simply because you want to hang around these friends. Now, back to the addiction. I often see guys that say, oh, I tell my friends, I want to stop drinking. Guess what happens? They laughed at him. Bro, that is a very big disaster. That is full-on disrespect there. Right? If you tell your friends, now, if you tell your friends that you want to stop drinking, right, and they laugh at you, automatically cut them off. Automatically. I think you don't even need to know any excuse, right? Cut them off, because For a friend who is really concerned, if you tell him you want to stop a certain bad habit, he should be much more bothered about why, what happened. Is there something that happened that I didn't tell me? He'll be much more, what is that word? Is it inquisitive? He'll be much more attentive to what they're going to say next. But guess what? If he laughs at you, it's obvious that he has always taken you as a joke from day one. Again, one other reason you're too afraid to quit it is peer pressure, because you feel like you'll never fit. Bro, I've had guys who smoke, I've had guys who drink, and if I say no, trust me, I see the amount of respect they give to me. This is why I tell you, be very careful of the people you bring into your life. You see, one thing for sure is I don't judge them with the way they smoke. Same way they don't judge me or laugh at me for not smoking. Because they know I don't tolerate disrespect. Right? I'm saying this because yes, if you watch my vlogs, I have guys that smoke, I have guys that stay around me that smoke. But guess what? That's why I keep telling people that there are ways to manage your vices. We're not born into this earth to have zero vices, right? If not, your life will become flat out boring. This is why I made a video on how to manage your vices, how you can eat junk food, just like what? Periodically, and still maintain your discipline. Now, it's a video for another day. I really wish I brought this stuff later at the end of the video. The third reason is you lack discipline, right? You see, you're still enjoying this instant gratification, junk food, doom scrolling, because let's be honest, you just can't. One way to get rid of addiction is to start building the identity of somebody who is disciplined, right? You start doing things that make you disciplined. So things that make you undisciplined are the things that actually keep you in that addiction. So say this way, right? You have a problem with instant gratification. You have a problem with your bad habits generally. Guess what? The more bad habits you have, the easier it is for you to fall for your addictions, brother. The easier it is for you. So now that you know that it's easier when you have your bad habits, what should you do? Strive to create good habits. You basically have no choice. Strive to create good habits where you know that the more good habits you have, the less addicted you are. So think about it, right? Again, one thing you get to realize is, which ties to the next point, is discipline is simple, right? If you can separate what you're going to do, if you do things regardless of how you feel, then trust me, you've actually solved this equation, right? So discipline, like I said, if you lack discipline, it's easier for you to fall for addictions. It's easier for you to stay addicted. Because whether you like it or not, there's always that constant cycle of you being bombarded with instant gratification. And before you know it, you always keep enjoying this stuff. And guess what? Because of the lack of discipline, you keep watching dopamine detox all the time. Simply because you have not chose to wake up and realize that discipline is key. As a man, there's absolutely no reason to not get discipline. Now, which this particular point ties into the fourth point that says your lifestyle choices. Now, I'm not referring to your partying, your drinking, no. I'm referring to your lifestyle choices that trigger three kinds of emotion, right? Your lifestyle choices that trigger stress, loneliness, and boredom. When you have these three things, bro, you are most likely not breaking out of any addiction. Now, let me first of all pick loneliness, because I'm a guy who preaches every guy should be able to be lonely. I'm referring to people who, if you are lonely, not by choice, but by condition, bro, this emotion will wreck your life. Because there are people whose nature is to go and meet people out there. But for some reasons, either your work, your lifestyle choices is not allowing you to do that. Because I have a lot of tech bros who I speak to, who I coach, and I'm like, bro, yes, you're getting paid well, but look at the toll it's taking on your social and mental health. Is it really, really worth it? So guess what? Some of them end up either, because some of them have like multiple tech jobs, some of them actually end up either dropping one job or dropping some activities. But the bottom line is, if you look at your life right now, right? I'm tackling loneliness alone. What can you do to tackle loneliness? Yes, I preach loneliness, that is as a way of you recharging yourself, as a way of you being self-reliant. But for some people, like I said, it's not so. Some people want people around them to make them feel safe. And if that's you, it's okay. You should not be ashamed for it. But again, you have to deal with that loneliness. But yet, at the same time, still enjoy being by yourself. Right? Because that is the true remedy to curing loneliness, right? But at the same time, if you can only enjoy being by yourself if you have, to an extent, if you are being with people. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. So it's one thing to enjoy being by yourself because it's a condition. But it's a different thing to be by yourself because it's a choice. You can't tell the difference. So yes, so on the issue of stress, again, a lot of tech brothers, you guys have stress. If you work from home, you always experience stress back to back. So stress is important. I'm not here to say your life should be sucked. No. Stress is what makes muscles grow bigger. Stress on your mental capacity makes you smarter, makes you think faster. So you need some level of stress. However, if your stress is unchecked, so as a science student, and this is how I see it, right? For those of you who are in science class, the degree of elasticity. So let's see it this way. If something could stretch, if this is the length of something, it could stretch and stretch something like this, can stretch to this point, right? Because it's elastic. Anything past this point is going to break. But guess what? A lot of people are living past the area of elasticity. So guess what? If you're in this case, you might be telling yourself, oh, I'm grinding every day, I'm working on every day, but bro, you're killing yourself. Stress damages your testosterone, make you feel your focus is fucked up, your mood is fucked up, your health is damaging. So I'm saying being overly stressed is crazy. I will not live in a world where productivity is a basic religion. In short, productivity is the religion itself these days that we practice all over the world, where you can't be productive. Every single hour of your day must be accounted for. So bro, check your stress. Now for boredom, you see, for boredom, it's why that's crazy is because I keep telling people that if you cannot embrace solitude and boredom, you're fucked in this generation, because we live in an addiction economy where every single thing is trying to addict you. The food is trying to addict you. The TV channels are trying to addict you. The social media algorithms are trying to addict you. So what I'll tell you is this now. If you're not somebody who can embrace boredom, it's again, all these things come from the whole idea of you being disciplined, you delaying gratification, you building good habits. All these things, they tie together. They all come together. So watch your lifestyle, right? Once in a while, know how to take breaks from people, be lowly, think about your future, think about your past, make assumptions, make test theories, make observations. Because I'm going to, if you know me, if you watch my vlogs, I speak about Miyamoto Musashi, and the fact that he talks about observing. And when you just sit down and observe a lot of things, you get to realize that there's more to learn, right? You can learn a lot by watching people do their thing. It tells you to observe as much as possible, learn as much as possible. And bro, it has always changed my life. This is why I can tell you for sure it will change your life. And the last and the most important reason you find it difficult to not be addicted is to quit the addiction is you lack purpose, you lack sense of purpose, you lack drive. So say this way, there's a research done on rats where they fed rats cocaine water. The rats rather drank that water until it died. Heart stopped, brain stopped, died. Similar experiments, but something was different. Before they exposed the rats to the water, the rats looked across the cage, right? He saw other rats playing, hunting for food, struggling and everything. He tasted the water, right? Felt the addiction, but still went to play with the rats. What that means is that the major reason you're addicted is because you don't know what to do. Remember when I said I have guys that smoke, I have guys that drink, right? And I drink once in a while. These guys have responsibilities. These guys are on their purpose. These guys are on their mission. So guess what? They may do that maybe on a Friday night. They may do that to celebrate a point, but you never see them do it every day. That is why I told you, yes, that is the real balance. When people say, oh, it's about balance, but bro, if you're a beginner, don't attempt to balance anything out. If you're somebody who is addicted to junk food and you want to get to the gym, scrap out the junk food until you get a system. This is why James Clear said, we don't rise to our system of our expectations. Am I correct? We fall to the level of our systems. What that means is if you have a system that always keeps you fit, always makes you burn calories every day, but guess what? You can eat a couple of calorie dense food and you'll be fine. You won't even feel it because you know that worst case in 2 or 3 days, that thing's out of your system. So bro, I'm not here to tell you that. I've spoken to way too many people on this case, and I'll tell you for sure that if you have a purpose, a drive, or goals you are working towards, it is harder for you to get addicted. Because like I said, the more you lean into your mission, your ambition, your drive, the more you lean into that, right, the more difficult it is for you to even get addicted. Because you don't even have that space to be addicted. Instead, you are more addicted to your mission. And like I said, I enjoy doing this every single day. I enjoy talking to guys. So if you feel like you want to talk to me, you can reach out to me on any of the links in the comments in the description. So if you made it this far and you feel like an idea resonated with you, I want you to please share this video with somebody, right? Let's begin to help more men, because right now we have an addiction problem People can't quit. Even TV series, even movies, because everything you're seeing is so addictive. And by the way, I want to make a video about the Matrix. No, I think I should wait for that video or something, right? Because yeah, I'll wait for the video. Because I'm sorry, I was thinking this was my vlog, so I was already talking about my vlog in this video, so my bad. So yes, if you like what you heard, please share this video with somebody. One of my missions in this life is to get more men on their purpose, get them on their mission, and to make them less addicted, more empowered, work on their stuff, build the kind of life they want to live. And heck, who doesn't want that? So thank you very much. So please share this video, and then thank you very much. Talk to you soon, and bye for now, brother.